How's it going, Manual Therapy viewers? Dr. E here. If you have some limitations in shoulder overhead mobility and you're pretty much only doing overhead PVC pipe stretching, lat stretching, typical kind of holding on a doorknob, I think shoulder ballistic internal rotation and extension stretches tend to work a lot faster. So when you stretch against perception of tightness, like your lat feels tight or your lateral posterior structures feel tight, you're stretching against tone or the feeling of tightness. So the muscle pretty much has to relax after essentially a prolonged isometric contraction in order to finally get more extensibility. So if you actually slack it ballistically like this, so I have like a 15-pound weight here and I'm whipping into extension, you'll notice that after that, you'll have more mobility. Then to lock in that mobility, I like to do overhead carries, and whatever you would think is heavy, just make sure your wrist is in neutral. Again, this is actually a little light for that. I just didn't bother switching weights, but you can just walk around or just hold this statically. So I just like to walk around like this for a minute or so to kind of work that new overhead mobility. So try this sequence if you've been having some tightness, rotator cuff issues, or especially what feels like a shoulder impingement, ballistic shoulder whips followed by overhead carries, and you'll often notice that the whips will increase the range, then you can lock in and load that range with the overhead carries.